Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm back to talk about Supernatural episode 1418 titled Absence, which premiered Thursday, April 11th, 2019 on the CW. I'm recording roughly 35 minutes after the episode is aired, so huge spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first, then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. And the video, my other video reminders are up on screen. Take a moment to remind yourselves of those. But I'm going to try to do this in 10 minutes. I'm still a little shocked about what happened in the episode, but let's start that now so I can talk about it. So what happened in this episode? So timeline-wise, this episode continues where 1417 has left off, but I guess enough time has passed for Sam and Dean to have gotten back to the bunker. But it's still a continuous storyline, though, because now they're left wondering, with episode reminder, where's Jack and Mary, which then leads to where the hell is Mary? Type of thing. So there's that. So the episode breakdown or storylines, this whole episode really is focused on one main thing, and that is where is Jack and Mary. So that was the first one. And then the second one is kind of fixing mistakes, which is interwoven into that one. So with the first storyline with where is Jack and Mary, this has Sam, Dean, and Castiel trying to get into contact. So they recruit Rowena, and she can locate Jack, but she is with absolute certain that Mary is no longer on this earth, which has them all freaking out, thinking, especially with Castiel revealing his concerns about Jack, and maybe he's behind what happened to Mary. This is also after them finding Nick's burnt body. So there's that. So in the midst of all that, we have Jack trying to, not only is he being haunted by hallucinations of Lucifer, trying to tell him, like, there's no going back now. You have no soul. You killed Mary Winchester. This is it. You really did it now, to the point that it kind of makes Jack grow more unstable by the second. Meanwhile, he's trying to figure out how to bring Mary back. He goes to Rowena to try to use magic, but despite her warnings, Jack only brings up an empty shell when he tries to use necromancy. So there's that. While all this is happening, the Winchesters send Castiel to heaven to see if Mary is not only in heaven, but to bring her back so that they could bring her back alive. But Castiel confirms with his own eyes that Mary is at peace and complete in her own special heaven, because now she is reunited with John. We don't get to see the two of them reunited, but yeah, it is because Juma said that Mary died a painless death, but now she is complete and that she's at peace. So we gotta assume that before, when Mary was in heaven, she was in her separate heaven. I don't think she was actually with John the first time around when she was in heaven. So I guess now she truly is complete for that. So there's that. Last scene of that episode shows Sam, Dean, and Castiel giving Mary a hunter's funeral. So there's that. So tidbit wise, though, throughout this whole episode, we do see different flashback points, all including Mary, that the guys had with her. With Castiel, we see one with him finishing a vampire hunt with Mary shortly after she just returned from the dead, because she was still adjusting to angels being real and their abilities and all that. We see a flashback of Jack being trained by Mary in how to handle a knife. And this is happening during the time where Michael was possessing Dean. This also combines with Sam's flashback of Mary, of them talking about parenting guilt, how he feels the guilt of, like, being a parent for Jack, and then Mary for Sam and Dean and what she's missed out on. So they kind of bond and kind of talk about that. And then for Dean, his flashback is pretty much just him driving down with the Impala, and Mary's just safe and asleep right beside him, and he's just grinning at the fact, like he can't believe that she's there, type of thing. And that's pretty much it for his flashback. But it really just amps up. And then we also, at her funeral, we do get like a montage of Mary's appearances, happy, sad moments of growth while during the funeral part as well. So it's like each flashback, you get a little bit, it ramps up the emotion a little bit more and a little bit more, to the fact that, oh, maybe she actually is truly gone now. So it just, yeah, because like beforehand, it's like you weren't sure if she was really dead or not, and then now it's like, oh, yeah. At first, when Jack was explaining, like, All he wanted was for her to stop talking and just have it be quiet, and then it took just that one thought of her being gone, and then she was just gone. So like that was how she died. But when he explained it like that, I was thinking, well, what if he sent her somewhere else? What if he sent her to another place, another Earth, even? What if he didn't kill her? But then it's like, then they did confirm that, yeah, she is dead. So it's just like, there was that small hope, maybe, but there's that. Also, at the very beginning of the episode, Dean threatened to cut Castiel out of his life if Mary ended up being dead because of Jack. I'm not sure if he's going to continue through with that, but that was a scene you partially see in the promo, though. So there's that. And death tally, it is confirmed in this episode that Mary Winchester is dead, killed accidentally by Jack, when he accidentally wanted something to happen, and he did without realizing what it would mean, type of thing. So it's kind of like a really be careful what you wish for type of thing. So there's that. Moving on to most shocking moment of the episode, I think it has to be the fact that she is actually dead. I mean, if anything, I kind of expected like the major kills to happen in the final season, where it's kind of like anything goes type of thing. But I was surprised it happened. We're like 2 episodes shy of the end of season 14, so I'm very shocked to see that. But I kept hearing fleeting rumors about someone dying before the season 14 ended, and it was always connected to Dean being the most affected by it. So everyone was speculating that it was going to be Mary from what I was hearing. Granted, I wasn't specifically searching out this rumor to see, or spoiler, to see if there's any truth to it. But like from the little bits of comments or stuff or notices I've seen of it relating to that, everyone always thought it was Mary. So it's like, on the one hand, that's like the only person aside from the Sam or Castiel that could really get an emotion like that, and they did that with Jack at earlier in the season. So it's like, I'm still surprised though. Like, yeah, he just got her back. Essentially, it's only been 2 years, but still, he like just got her back, and just like, it sucks. But there's that. But let's move on to top 3 favorite moments, just because of how powerful this episode was on an emotional thing, and it was a negative emotion thing too. A major favorite, would have to be all the flashbacks we get of Mary, just to get another aspect and to get those insights into those small moments that we don't get to see. We usually see all the bad drama stuff, like not bad, but like bad situations and dramatic moments. We don't see any of the slow times, or we don't see any of like the down times between the characters. So it's very interesting, the flashbacks, to see those moments and just to see what the characters initially think of when they think of Mary and what comes to mind. So that was a major thing there for the flashbacks. Again, having those definitely amps up like the factor that like, oh, she could be gone, which is a bad thing to feel, but I do like the focus of like we do get a little bit more about it. So there's that. And then another favorite, which shouldn't really be a favorite, but it was Dean's outburst to the news that Rowena couldn't find Mary, but she can confirm that Mary is not on this earth. And now Dean, he's completely silent. All 3 of them were, rightfully so. But then Dean has I think he broke the chair. Like, he threw the chair, he smashed it. He deliberately did it to break it. Frustration. He like did his outburst, and it's very similar to the whole huge son of a bitch moment he had after he found out that Gabriel escaped, just when they had everything, and his reaction to that. The only reason it's my favorite, and I don't know why, but it's because with Dean's character, who's always very closed emotions, very tight-lipped, he's always keeps things bottled and tries to soldier on. It's only very rarely do you see him give in to those emotions, because then whenever him and even any character really who has that facade of like stone cold type of thing and like nothing gets to them, the moment that they show emotion, because like they're doing everything to like keep a straight face and everything, and like that's their character, but the moment that they're still doing that and like the emotion is so much for them that they have to react, that's always gonna, I find that's always been my favorite, because like it just shows how much the news or what has happened to them to bring up those emotions has affected them, which I always find amazing, because like it's, you don't, I don't know why, but it's like kind of like if you get two different people, and yes, people react to things in very different ways, but let's say if one person's always emotional and everything, and then you have one person who just always keeps their emotions in, they don't show anything, right? And there's a timer. And let's say both these two people, let's say siblings, I don't really care, but let's just say siblings, and they find out this very terrible news about, just found out these terrible news. It's both of the same relationship impact with the news, right? But for someone who is known to be emotional and breaks down, it's like, okay, that's expected of them. That's not gonna, for me, reacting to that, it's gonna sound bad. It's like, well, I kind of already knew you're gonna break down, because like that's something that you would break down over. But now I'm expecting the person who always keeps a straight face and they're trying to hold their emotions in, if they're able to still do that, it's like, I expect that. But if that person then can't like keep that emotion in and they start reacting, then I know, oh crap, that news is a lot more terrible than I realized, because it's gotten that other person to the point where their emotions are actually showing. So that's why I always find that a favorite, just because I'm able to see the true impact of what this news has to the most stoned-faced of characters. Sorry if that was so long-winded, but like, I need to explain why Dean's outburst for me was a favorite. Usually it's not supposed to. If something ticks off Sam and Dean, that's supposed to tick me off as well too, right? But like, I like the fact that I was able to see that, just how much this piece of news was affecting him. Like, he can't hold it in. It's like, yeah, like he can't, there's no escaping his reaction to that. So that's why I like about it. I don't know how else to explain it, so I'm sorry about that. But let's move on to top 3 peak moments. It's really simple, the fact that Mary's dead, and the fact that with her death, it now brings this fracture, not only with Jack having a divide with him, Castiel, and the Winchesters, but now it's also going to bring a divide between Dean and Cass, because now Dean blames Cass for withholding information from them. So it's the cracks have started to form again, and that's the peeve there. But moving on to what we'll remember most when I look back on this episode, I really got to get rid of this section, because that's kind of the same as episode reminder from earlier. But again, Mary's death. I'll think of taking out that in the season 15 recaps. But anyways, random questions very quickly. First one, if they truly believed that they could revive Mary Winchester again, without an upper being involved, like God, Amara, or Billy, the new death, then why wouldn't they have already thought about resurrecting John to join them long before having the idea to, or the need to resurrect Mary a third time, because she's already with them? So that's always something where because of that kind of had, if they didn't involve Billy and if they weren't going to get God or Amara, I was kind of thinking like, well, any other way that they were going to bring them back, if it was even possible or successful, then it's like, well, why didn't they do it with John a lot sooner? Especially if they got Mary back, right? So it's like, I kind of half expected their attempt to get Mary back to fail, just because, well, why not continue it forward and get everyone else they've lost to come back? But just wondering if anyone else wondered that as well. Another question. Is Jack now stuck seeing Lucifer in his head like Sam was back in season 7? Or was this only like a one lapsed moment type of thing for Jack? It was just kind of like, because the mistake happened with Mary, and then like Lucifer appeared, and then now that he can't fix it, is Lucifer stuck with him? Or now that he realizes it, Lucifer's going to leave now or something? I don't know. It was a clever way to bring him back, kind of, without it actually being Lucifer. But yeah, anyways, last question. Does anyone else believe that Jack's spell that could have released something else when that empty Mary shell was created? I mean, that whole pink void in the sky and the whole necromancy romancing thing. I mean, it obviously created another body for Mary. It just nothing is occupying it. But all that and the fact that it grew, I have to believe that something else happened, or maybe something else got released. And like, remember how like Asmodeus wanted Jack to resurrect that ancient species thing that was trapped deep below? I don't remember the name. I'll put it up on screen. But remember them? Will we get a return from them? I thought, if anything, maybe this was connected possibly to them. I don't know. But I thought something more would happen, and then that would lead to maybe that being the season 15 evil of the final season. But it's possible that they're building it up to be Jack. Really. I could see it being Jack in the final season if they don't find a way to fix the problem before the premiere, or before the finale this time. So there's that. So let's move on to predictions very quickly. Based off the promo for 14-19, it looks like we get the Apocalypse Bobby back, and back in response to Mary's death. We see Jack growing more powerful. We see him using his powers at church groups. And we even see Sam and Dean contemplating whether or not they could kill Jack, and how they both have to agree to do it, because it seems like they're kind of split between Sam wanting to give him a chance, but Dean's like, no, we gotta kill him. We should have done it before, or something like that. But the synopsis reads that for 14-19 that Sam, Dean, and Castiel investigate a string of suspicious deaths that have a biblical element to them. That has to be connected to Jack. I would be surprised if they think it's Jack, but it ends up being something else. But it's pointing towards Jack for sure. But I guess we'll have to wait and see about that. There's only 2 episodes left of the season. The next one that I just talked about, as well as the finale with episode 20. But what did you guys think of this episode? What did you guys like about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your thoughts, theories, and opinions about all that. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I reblog promos, web clips, quotes, GIFs, synopses, news, all that good stuff. All found in one place. Go check that out. A little behind, but I'm hoping to catch up, especially once the season ends. So during the hiatus, but be on the lookout for that. WordPress account, link for that is down below. Anything I post online is connected to WordPress. Link for that is down below. More organized, more detailed, but again, a work in progress as well. So there's that. And live journal entry link is down below to the page. There you'll find detailed jot-noted summaries of the episodes. I write them as I watch the episode for the first time, so you'll get quotes, you'll get descriptions, you'll get in-moment thoughts and questions I might have had. But it helps me keep things in order. I know sometimes I might forget the smaller details, or the minor details, I guess I could say. And those always help me to come back to it, especially before transcripts are released online. So if that helps you out, then I hope you check it out. Yeah, so you can find them there. But otherwise, that is pretty much it. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you can come back next week to see what they say about the episode. But also, guys, I did do a video that was released last week. It is kind of like a monster battle between the monsters of Supernatural with the monsters of the show Legacies. So it's going to be Legacies versus Supernatural, which you're kind of comparing monsters, because the Legacies TV show, which just premiered this year, if you haven't checked out my reactions for that, go check them out. But they started introducing different creatures into the world of the Vampire Diaries universe. And a lot of those creatures we have seen over the last 14 years of Supernatural. So I did have a tendency of comparing them together. So that video has it all compiled together. You kind of got get not only what one series did in comparison to the other, but you got my take on why I liked one over the other. And then at the very end, you get to see which series did it better. In my opinion, you have a different one. Let me know in the comments down below for that video. But it was fun doing it, and definitely preparing it over the course of season 1 for Legacies. So Supernatural fans, I hope you grab a look at it, get a little different perspective on how different monsters are done. But otherwise, I just forgot that I never mentioned that in my previous Supernatural episode. So yeah, again, that's pretty much it. So thanks again, guys. I hope you check those videos out. And until next time, I hope you guys Have a great day, a great week, wherever you are, and stay safe. Bye.